What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here. And well, today I wanted to talk about a upcoming mecha strategy RPG which is called Phantom Brigade. Now Phantom Brigade is coming out February 28th on Steam, and well, currently there is a demo available on Steam that you can try, which I downloaded it and I actually had quite the surprise. I ended up enjoying it and having a lot of fun. As a mecha fan and as a strategy RPG fan, this is definitely two genres that I enjoy mixed in, and it's a great game for me and I've been having a blast. Now, this game has been available for quite some time as an early access on the Epic Game Store, so people might have had a chance of trying it out. And well, on February 28th, it is supposed to release its 1.0 version, which is technically as like, this is their I don't know if I would call it complete version, but it's a version that they're willing to put out there, like it's finally out of early access. And the 1.0 version will be coming obviously to the Epic Store. And of course, they're putting the game finally on Steam. As always, if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. So, Phantom Brigade is described as a hybrid turn-based and real-time tactical RPG with an innovative timeline-based command system. See the future, predict enemy actions, and plot your counterattack on the timeline. Outnumber and outgun, lead the Brigade's campaign to retake their war-torn homeland, with one of its main gimmick obviously being you able to predict the future and so coordinate your attacks based on that. When it comes to plot, it is fairly basic and well, at least in this demo, not much is talked about. The gist seems to be that you used to live in a peaceful country when out of nowhere it seems it was invaded by another country that seems to have a much larger force. So eventually the government in the country collapses, with only being a resistance left that are trying to fight back and retake the country. Obviously they are outgunned and outnumbered, so they haven't had much success. They're trying their best here and there. And eventually this group of people, after training for so long, get together and they're called the Phantom Brigade, and they're gonna be helping out government and whatever is left of the military forces to retake the country, territory by territory. Again, the plot for me is fairly simple, non-existent. Maybe the final game it will be more tangible as you play through, but I guess because there's not necessarily like a main character, it's just a narrator and some characters interact from time to time, but there's not like a protagonist or a specific character that you follow. Maybe the narrator will be one, because at one point it does talk, it's like, oh, I wanted you to live in this peaceful country, not in this. So
many lives lost, so much devastation. This isn't what I wanted for you. I thought you'd be born in a time of peace and prosperity, of love among people. But the world is so different now. We can't keep hope alive for much longer. We pray that someone, anyone, will answer our call.
maybe that's who you're following, but I guess if you're here, you're mostly for the gameplay, which I have to say, it can be very fun and even challenging at times. So for the gameplay, if you have played any strategy RPGs, I feel it would be very straightforward and you will be used to. You will control your mechs in battle, and of course you'll be able to move, attack, defend, plan out, strategize, use buildings for cover. Now, how it works is, and this is the gimmick, that you're able to predict the enemy moves. So based on those predictions, you're able to strategize and see how you want to engage the enemies, and even at what point do you want the engagement to happen, because you're gonna see like the lines of like your enemy movement, when are they gonna engage, and then if they're gonna fall back or fall forward, and you're able to trace out and decide how you want to proceed. Once you choose like how you're gonna engage, you let it run, so you will see your mechs move and start attacking, and the fight will go. And to be honest, it does look fairly cool. When your strategy pays off and you manage to like overturn a battle or like completely surround an enemy. It's fairly fun as you're watching. Your mechs will have different weapons, so of course how you will engage will depend on that. You might have a unit with a shield and a shotgun, so you might want to be like a bit close, maybe keep a mid-range, but you know, take advantage of that shield that you have to cover yourself or cover some friendly units, especially when they're being targeted by other units. You might have a melee unit, which of course you want to be engaging up close. You might have a unit with like a beam weapon, which can shoot from a very far distance, and the longer you shoot at something, the more damage it does. So you're trying to like strategize to try to make sure your units avoid the beams as you're like trying to hit maybe an enemy that's far away or maybe a building. And of course there's different movements, so you have run, and as far as the demo goes, you also eventually get units that can leap. And that's mostly the gist of the fight. It's like I said, if you play a strategy RPG, you will be fairly knowledgeable. Now when mission is over, when you either lose or you beat the mission, you will have the access to salvage parts on the. There is though a limit to how much you can salvage, so sometimes there will be some decisions to make on what you want to take from the battlefield. Now when you're not fighting, you will have access to like an overworld map with bases you need to attack, and of course home bases where you can resupply or rest. You will be controlling a mobile base and moving around territories and deciding when to engage. You will also have access to edit and customize your mechs, not just the parts and weapons, but also the colors. You will be able to choose different pilots too. Now, there's a sense of time in the overworld, so for example, as you're heading to a base, time will pass. Resting also makes time pass for 24 hours. Some scenarios will have a time limit to when you can participate, so there will be some choosing on when you want to engage, especially as you're about to overtake a territory where this skirmish starts, and your action will cost either the enemy side or your side, because you both have like a 100 health bar, I would say, and the more missions you're doing, because the government will tell you, hey, attack this, you're gonna hurt the enemy health bar, and eventually once it lowers itself, you'll be able to overtake the territory. Though the demo didn't let me go that far, so I just managed to overtake like the first territory, which I guess is the tutorial one. In all honesty, I'm quite surprised, and I really had a good time with this. There's even a moment where the game will test you, so I tried a mission and I really fucked up super early. And because I messed up, it cost me my units. Because of course, this game being a strategy RPG and being a bit challenging, when you lose a unit, you lose it forever and the pilot. So I lost my units and the pilots. But I later came back with new pilots, new units, and a better strategy, and I did a lot better. I think if you're a fan of mecha and strategy RPGs, you should check the demo out since it's available. And I think it's only up until February 13th. I think it's part of the Steam Next Fest. So if you want to check it out, I will probably get the game when it comes out. It looks like it's gonna be fun. But as always, it's not just about me. What are your thoughts, guys, on Phantom Brigade? Have you tried it? Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.